Greetings, I am Tom Earl, and this is my year of adventure. We know you could be anywhere, so the fact that you are here today sharing your greatest gifts, your time and energy, means the world to me. I hope you know in this moment that you are valued, you are loved, and you are appreciated just as you are. Welcome to day 2 of the Manifest Your Adventure course. If you have not gone through day 1 yet, I recommend you go back through the podcast listings and listen to day 1 first. You should be listening to these in order. And so I appreciate that you're taking the time to go through these as I'm enjoying and bonding with my child during my paternity leave. I really know that if you go through each one of these days and you do the work, do the homework, that you're going to get a tremendous amount of energy out of this, and that it's really going to set you up for a great place for the rest of your year. So we're keeping this intro short. That's really about it. Let me know how you enjoyed day 1, and I'm going to get out of the way here so you can step into day 2 of Manifest Your Adventure. And this one is Naming Your Adventure. All right, let's let the theme music drop. Here we go. Greetings. I am Tom Earl. Welcome back to day 2 of Manifest Your Adventure. Such a pleasure and an honor to have you here at the Celebration Academy. We know you could be anywhere. So the fact that you are here embracing and going through day 2, it just has me so excited because I know you are the kind of person who doesn't just sign up for things and let them sit there, that you actually go through them. So whether this is day 2 of your journey on this, or maybe you're an overachiever and this is only a couple hours after day 1, or maybe this is a week later, whatever it is, I'm so glad to have you here with us. As I let you know on day 1, or if you're already been listening to my podcast or anything to do with me, you already know how we're going to get started. Aligning our breath, our intentions with our energy. You'll notice that oftentimes your breath is one of the greatest indicators of where you're at in terms of your energy. That when we're frustrated or we're angry, our breath gets really shallow, and sometimes we even notice that we're holding it. That's why if you notice boxers, when they go through a punch, they breathe out, or people who are lifting weights, they breathe out, because we have that tendency to hold our breath in those intense moments. But you'll notice when you're in flow that you're breathing nice and deep and easy. You're maybe even breathing through your nose. And so one of the quickest ways to get us into a positive place is to do this very thing of using our breath intentionally. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to once again breathe in through our nose and stretch up, and breathe out. And as we breathe out, release that energy. You can stretch up, you can reach up, you can point up, you can think up, whatever works best for you. Ready? Here we go. Breathe in and release. Well done, well done. One more time. Breathe in and release. This time what we're going to do, so I want you to think of, what is one thing you are grateful for? As you know, I'm a big fan of gratitude. I even have a Facebook group called the Gratitude Challenge. Would love to have you with us if you're not already, but that's not what this is about, Tom. Let's get back to the show here. What I want you to do is think of something you're grateful for. Maybe it's an everyday thing that's so there all the time that you just failed to think about how awesome it is. My go-to is my ability to blink. Can you imagine if you couldn't blink? You would notice that very quickly. And so I'm grateful that I blink without even thinking about it. Maybe you're grateful for access to clean drinking water, or our ozone layer. Or was there a coincidence that happened today? Something that you were thinking about it, and next thing you know, it just happened. It manifested. think about something you're grateful for. And as we breathe in, feel that gratitude infuse your body. Get excited. Feel the excitement of that gratitude just stretching to your fingertips, down to your toes, up to your mind. Really feel the energy of that gratitude within you so you have that full body gratitude. Okay? Do that as we breathe in. Ready? Go. Breathe in. Feel that gratitude. Feel it vibrating. And release. If you did it with me, I don't know how you're not smiling over there. Just doing it myself. I'm Mr. Chuckles over here, just smiling away. Being grateful and taking just a few seconds to do this each day, it really just infuses your day with awesomeness. And so, as I always say, in case you didn't get a chance to do this yet, I always want to provide an intentional opportunity for you to do it with us together here. And it also gets us in a good mindset to go into some experiential learning. Yesterday, we drew ourselves at the start of a grand adventure. And, just as a side note, would love if you could post it in the comments below your picture, or if you post it online, tag me at Tom Earl Artist, or send me a snap of it, or if you want to email me, tom@tomearl.com. I'd love to see your picture. It'd really mean a lot to me if you could send it, but no pressure, just if you're willing to. And even if you send it to me and say, please don't share this, I promise I won't. It's just amazing to see everything that folks draw and our interpretations of it, and I love hearing from you. Anywho, we drew ourselves on a grand adventure, and we recognize that oftentimes we think we need a whole bunch of things to get started, but really we have everything we need already within us to take that first step. As the saying goes, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with one, and you don't need a single thing to take that first step because everything you need is right there. All the virtues, the values, the characteristics, the resourcefulness, the community, all you need is right there, my friends. And so we drew that and we celebrated and we embraced that we are all on the precipice of a brilliant and grand adventure. Many brilliant and grand adventures, to be exact. It's just that we drew one of them. Really, if you think about all the side adventures we're going to get on the way. Even today, I was trying to think of a name for a new course I'm doing. And so I wanted to use Google Keyword Finder to suggest different course names so I could see what are some things people are searching. So what started as, what should I name this course, turned into a 3-hour YouTube Google AdWords tutorial, made me a little expert in it, just to answer the question of what should I name this course. And then instead I said, this is getting kind of complicated. Very helpful. I like that I have this, resource in my tool belt now, but I wonder what my community thinks. So I posted on Facebook, here's the 4 titles that I'm thinking of. What do y'all think? And boom, the first, in a matter of a couple of minutes, 10 people said this one, and they all said the same exact one. And I thought, well, so much for high technology. In the end, community is your strongest resource. And I say all that to say that I had no idea when I woke up this morning I was about to go on that adventure. And so you never know. When you go on a grand adventure, all the little side trails that you go on, they just bring a smile to my face, because really it's about embracing this journey. It's the journey that really makes us who we are. And we arrive at that destination. We come as somebody who's been completely transformed by it. I the other day was talking to somebody and they said, what I like to do is I like to read the ending of a book first and then see the journey of how the person got there. That for them, it's not about the suspense. That for them, they just love seeing the journey. And for all of us, I admit I love the suspense. I love knowing what's going to come next. But it's also about seeing how the hero or the shero's journey of how they become that person. That's why we love origin stories. And so all of us right now are living our origin story in this very moment. And sometimes it's hard when you're among it to appreciate it. And so that's why, as an outsider, I'm reminding you to breathe in and embrace and appreciate this beautiful journey you are living and breathing every single second. What we're going to do today is, now that we have named what we look like on the start of a grand adventure, let's flush out. Can't remember. It's one of those. Let's give some form to this skeletal idea. And maybe even that analogy is not quite right there. Let's give some pulse. Let's give some juice to what is this grand adventure look like we're about to go on. As you see here, folks, we're laid back, we're having fun, we're in community with one another, we are manifesting our adventure. And so without further ado, let's jump back into the workshop. Day 2, manifest your adventure. Here we go. Awesome. Okay, so now we have ourselves about to go on a journey.
Yay.
How we're going to start to wrap this workshop up is, what's that journey? What is this epic journey? Because I really believe that all of us have a unique gift, unique purpose, unique strengths that no one else in this world has, and that we all have a unique journey that we're called to. And that's why community is important, is because when we combine all of our journeys together, we have a holistic world. So what is that unique journey you're being called to do? For this one, you'll want a piece of paper that you can write on. Mm-hmm. And unlike the other one, there is a right and a wrong way to do this. And you will be judged excruciatingly strict. No, I'm just kidding. So what we're about to do is, for those of you who have participated in the live and online expression session, we're about to do a 10-second poem. Ooh. Where I'm going to give you a prompt, and you're going to answer the prompt in, rather than 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 20-second poems. So you get 20 seconds to answer each of these prompts. The whole point of that is to get us out of our thinking mind, where we try to think and analyze and make sure it's perfect before we put it on paper. But the pressure of the time makes it so that you have to answer like now. Got to get it right away. And then it allows you to tap into the subconscious of the answers without judging, kind of like we did on here. And so these are all going to be questions based upon, a journey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want a pen and a piece of paper. For those listening while multitasking, just answer out loud or answer in your mind in these 20 seconds that we give you. You can answer in a word, a sentence, bullet points, a drawing, however you'd like to draw, however you'd like to answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yes.
Oh, I liked that. Okay, first one is, one thing I've always wanted to do is... 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes your number 2. If I knew I could not fail, I would. If I knew I could not fail, I would. If I knew I could not fail, I would. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 3. In my heart, I feel called to. In my heart, I feel called to. 5, 4, 3, 2. Number 4. I want to serve my community by. I want to serve my community by. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, number 5. Number 5.
I'm not done with the thought. I'm sorry.
Just
Thought
kidding.
was not finished.
Okay, number 5. In my bio, I've always wanted one line that says, in my bio, I've always wanted one line that says,
One line?
Mm-hmm.
A whole line?
Sentence, thought.
I have 3 words.
3 words. Okay, number 6. One way I want to share my message is. One way I want to share my message is. Five, four, three, two, one. Number 7. I am no longer going to put off. I am no longer going to put off. Five, four, three, two, one. Number 8. An idea that gets me really excited is. Five, four, three, two, one. Number 9. It may sound silly, but one thing I'm actually really good at is. It may sound silly, but one thing I'm actually really good at is.
It may sound silly. It sounds silly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, number 10. I've always wanted to be introduced as that person who. I've always wanted to be introduced as that person who. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, pens down. Let's snap it up. My way of ensuring pens are down. Which one would y'all like to hear some folks share?
Number 9.
Number 9. It may sound silly, but one thing I'm actually really good at is.
The first thing that came to mind was saying yay.
Yay! You are, and I've definitely borrowed that.
You're good at saying yay.
Yes, and bringing that spirit into any space.
Yeah.
I see it in your picture. You even have a yay.
Anyone else?
Singing.
Singing? That's awesome.
Ooh, doesn't sound silly at all.
That's why it was hard for me to answer. Honestly, the it may sound silly disclaimer really threw me. I was like, wait, what's silly? And I didn't know how to answer it for a while.
What did you put, Adora?
I said it may sound silly, but I'm very good at pulling my lip down to be under my chin.
What? Really?
Let's see. Let's see.
I'm a little self-conscious.
well,
Accountability.
I was like, I have to see this
I'm like,
now.
should I push this? Should I move us along?
It has been a while, but let's see.
Oh my God. Wow.
She just did it, folks. It's true. You got it live from here.
That was amazing.
What's another one what's one that people are feeling called to share?
A line from my bio.
Okay, one again. Was that number 5? Number 5.
Number 5.
In my bio, I've always wanted one line that says,
For me, I wrote Tony Award winning.
"Yay!"
Yeah.
Is that place? Tony Awards, are those plays?
Yeah, for plays.
Okay.
They're short for the Antoinette Perry Awards, which are like the equivalent of Oscars for Broadway.
That's amazing. Yes. Who else? What else was on there?
Mine is very similar. Mine is Academy Award-winning director.
Very simple. You know, I didn't put. Can I just say I didn't put actor, director, playwright, because it could be any of those. I'll take it.
I'm fussy. I'm very specific.
Oh, mine wasn't specific at all. I had a hard time with this one, but I have influencer down.
Nice.
Yeah.
One word from the bio.
I wrote BFFL to Beyonce.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Is that what you wrote? Oh,
That'd be in a
okay.
bio. It'd be like,
Why
Tom
is
Earl,
this surprising
BFFL to
to
Beyonce.
I
How
know-
long have you known
I didn't
him?
know it was going to go in the bio. I thought
my
that's something you had to know Tom personally.
No.
BFF.
That's all they'd say to Beyonce. They're like, we've heard enough. Bring him on. What's another one folks are feeling invited to share?
Number 10.
Number 10. I've always wanted to be introduced as that person who.
Oh, mine, I just said lives with integrity and sincerity, making a big difference in the world.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yay. I wrote created that thing that changed lives.
Love it.
Would it be that exact thing? This is that guy that created that thing that shit. But insert
I
blank.
try to just keep it open because I
like that.
believe that I will create many things. And so it doesn't matter what it is. Something of all the things I've created, each one or they will have changed lives. Sometimes it's in my play. Sometimes it's a story. Sometimes it's, just did that thing that changed lives.
That's amazing. Adora?
I've always wanted to be introduced to that person who has those kids who are so smart and very kind.
That's amazing.
I love it.
And anyone else want to share one?
I think Tom Earl should.
Let me see. Which one am I curious to share?
Responding to number 10.
Number 10. I've always wanted to be introduced as that person who flew to the moon.
Oh.
Wow.
That would be
Wow. Is
fun.
that wow, that's a whole other vision. That's amazing. It wasn't on your journey.
True. But that's why you do them at the top of the
Oh,
mind.
there's the
Yeah,
word.
the globe.
Oh, maybe
globe
I'm
is in the
seeing.
distance.
Wow.
You're on the moon.
That is crazy.
Over the moon.
That's crazy.
Wow.
With your Appleton push and everything.
This is me in outer space. Wow, just floating with all these
With
things.
your microphone and phone and everything. That's cool.
Heart-shaped spacesuit.
Yeah.
That's why the head's so big.
Wow.
Virgin Galactic.
That's
was
amazing, Tom.
Alhamdulillah.
How about number 1?
Number 1. One thing I've always wanted to do, take an entire month off.
Oh.
Well done. You have just almost pretty much done that. No?
I've been working.
That's true.
I mean, just like reading, doing just fun stuff. No answering email or posting on social media.
That's
Just fun.
easily achievable. You
I
can
know.
do it. I support you.
But for the achiever, it's like one of the biggest challenges there is.
I don't know if he could. I think he'd want to, but it would be
With a big
something
enough
else.
team.
I say you just send him somewhere. Just send him somewhere and don't give him and just.
He'd find someone with a phone.
What about y'all? What did you write for number 1?
It was hard because I could have just said something I've always wanted to do recently, but I do have this childhood wish that I even wrote to this guy called Jimmy Savile, who turned out to be a paedophile and all sorts of things, but he was very big on British TV, made wishes come true. So I wrote to him, and it's something I still haven't done, but I've always wanted to milk a cow.
We can make that happen
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Jim will fix it
I
for
love
you.
that. I love
And
these.
You and you.
Who else wants to share theirs?
I said travel the world freely with ease and really experience all the different cultures. Yeah.
That's awesome. Rami, you want to close this out?
Yeah, I said I would. I always wanted to sing on Broadway,
Nice.
and then I get my Tony.
Yay!
Yeah.
And I'll bring Beyonce. Because we're BFFs.
Yeah. Well, she still has to buy a ticket.
We'll buy the whole theater. It'll just be us two and Adora.
Loving Beyonce's afterthought. At least I was remembered.
This was awesome, and we'd love to hear what folks wrote at home. So if you could comment in the comments section, or post it online and tag us, we'd love to hear what y'all wrote. Just out of curiosity, what was anybody surprised by anything you wrote, or what kind of came up for you as you were writing these down?
I actually am a little bit surprised in the sense that like a lot of these, what is coming up today, a lot of this like Broadway and singing and Tony stuff are like dreams from me as a teenager. And these aren't dreams I've really been thinking about lately. I do think about creating and performing work and theater all the time. That's for sure. But this thing about Broadway and winning Tonys and singing, that is like such an old dream. It's so weird that it's like, I mean, I have been listening to a lot of show tunes again lately, which again, I used to do in my teens. So I have like reconnecting to some of that like early younger dreams. That's a bit surprising.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Rami.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, it was interesting that part of it just felt like it was so easily flowing and nothing really surprised me in that way. And at the same time, it was like the contradiction is that I was having like, wait, how do I answer that? So like that tension of both being true at the same time within 20 seconds was an interesting experience. And the one that surprised me was number 2. I don't know what number 2
Yeah, if
was.
you knew you could not fail, I would.
Oh, I wrote down speak my heart out on the biggest stages. And I haven't quite thought of it ever that way. So that one's surprising.
That's awesome.
I can't see how you would fail with that.
Thank you.
Adora?
I think it is almost like what Rami was saying, the cow milking I haven't thought about for years. But yeah, I checked in my heart and I still want to do it. So it's things like that. But then what I found very interesting with this way, I think you've probably done it like this in our free writes or workshops in the past, but the sentence structure made me have to complete the sentence in a certain way with some of the things that you opened. So it had me think about my vision in a different way, which was also helpful.
That's awesome. I think for me, what was helpful and surprising was how a lot of the things I answered and I heard other people answer were kind of a little bit outside that groove we have of this is what my vision's going to be, kind of what I was talking about earlier, where it has to be this and that, where it's like go to the moon, be friends with Beyonce, do silly things. So I think it kind of brought in a holistic perspective for me of what my vision is of this journey, more than just my tried and true pathways. You know, we even brought in family and kids. And so I really enjoyed getting to hear. I feel I got a greater sense of who we all are. And I really enjoyed that. So
I have a confession.
okay.
Plot twist.
No, just that as I'm hearing your reflection, hearing your responses as well, so something that came up for me was like, I don't have a Beyonce and milking the cow and, like that type of a thing. So I'm feeling a little conscious. But I whatever came through me, I'm honoring because I know it feels genuine, it feels real, and it feels good. And at the same time, I'm also finding myself thinking like, wait, what about all the fun stuff? Or what is that childhood dream that maybe I haven't been tapped into? So I'm feeling a bit conscious of it.
Or and maybe introspective, like that's a good thing to maybe try to reconnect them. What were you thinking about as a child? Like what were those dreams you had? As which sounds like a very positive, probably a beneficial journey to go on.
Yeah, I think so. One thing that we can run a risk of is when we do share, is then that comparison mind kicks in. That there was a right way to do it. That I should have answered more things outside of what I have. Do you feel it's more along those lines?
Yeah, definitely the comparison is what's brought up the self-consciousness. Yeah.
I think also what struck me with yours was everything on your list sounds fun. I want Academy Award winning director. I know there'll be bits of it that'll be fun, but I'm not expecting it to be mainly ha ha he he, you know? Whereas with yours, I think because everything's so joyful, perhaps you just didn't feel the need for any extras, but it's always an interesting conversation to have with yourself.
Yeah.
Your response to number one was traveling the world with ease.
Uh-huh.
I believe that's a dream. That's definitely a dream. I think that sounds like a fun, exciting
Yeah.
thing to do with
Yeah.
ease. Like sounds like you're a big like baller, you know, like
I
Right.
know.
TSA pre-check and everything.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Why not? I like that.
I think we're a very affirming group, so I'm hearing us all kind of trying to help you feel better. So I think the just letting you sit in the discomfort, that it's, and just recognizing that though is something that will put your dream at risk, is that going to comparison, being like, well, they have this. Because it kind of reminds me of your number two. If I was afraid I could not fail, I would share my vision and dream on the biggest stages. But what's going to threaten that dream is the comparison and the fear. And, well, I must have done it wrong because you did it that way. So I think it's good to have that. Okay, this will be when I'm driving, the things that come at my windshield that I need to brush away. When the comparison comes, brush that away, dust that off my shoulders. So just to be kind of aware of that what you have is amazing.
What was number 7?
Number 7 was, what do you like best about Tom Earl? I'm no longer going to put off.
So what I wrote down for number 7, I'm no longer going to put off embracing and feeling all that is seeking to emerge. So I feel like what you're saying about the brushing off the wipers, before I can brush it off, I have to acknowledge it. And so I think just the fact that I had this quote unquote a confession was me being true to number 7.
That's awesome.
So yay.
Yay! And I bet a week later, all our answers would be different.
Yeah.
So it's in this moment. And that's
Yeah.
the thing about all of this is trusting that if next week it's a little bit different, trusting that rather than trying to hold on. Well, one time in a workshop, I said it had to be this. So we have what we look like at the start of the journey. Is it flushed or fleshed out?
Fleshed out.
We fleshed out. We fleshed it out. So now the skeleton has flesh. We want to give it some juice, some circulation, some blood, some energy. Because if we have our what, or our outcome, the thing that's going to move us along on anything we want is our why. The why always trumps. And so what we want to create is a why that is bigger than the worry. So anything that might come up that might have us doubt our dream or want to not go for it or hold back that worry, I want you to come up with a why. So I'm going to give you a moment to just write a little bit to yourself. And I want you to write a letter to yourself a little bit later down the road to remind yourself of why this matters to you. What's at stake? What might be accomplished through this? What impact you're going to have on the world? I want you to create a why that is a letter to remind yourself that is bigger than any possible worry you might come up with. Does it make sense what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. The why is our worries.
So I want you to come up with a why for this journey. Why do you want to go on this journey? So for yours is Tony's and singing on stage and creating things that change the world. I want you to think of why do you want to do those things? Why do you want to make an impact in the world? And the why should be more motivating than possible worries to tell you not to. Does that make sense? And you won't be reading this out loud. This will just be for you. Okay, everybody ready? Let's begin. For the folks listening at home, as always, if you'd like to pause this and create your poem in peace by yourself, feel free to do that and hit play when you're ready to come back. Or if you're multitasking and would like to do the visualization I'm about to guide you through, then here we go. Let's get started as I walk you through this experience. I want you to start to get excited, to feel the energy going through you with pride and joy, and this feeling that no matter what comes in your pathway, you have all of the energy, resources, resourcefulness, time, creativity, passion. You have everything it takes to push through, to move through everything that comes on your pathway with ease, with grace, and with joy. The way we're going to do that is by creating a why that is bigger than any potential worry that could come onto your pathway. What does that mean? Ask yourself this. Why do you care about this epic adventure you're going on? What is at stake for you? What might come about if you accomplish, not even if, when you reach your destination? What is at stake? What might happen for your family as you manifest this adventure? What might happen for yourself? What resources might come into your life? What opportunities? Why does this matter for you? The why gives you the fuel for this ride that you are going on. It is the fuel that will drive you as you're manifesting this adventure. So I want you to think, why does this matter? Another way to ask this is, what is your purpose? What is the reason for why you care? Give you some time to think in silence. I want you to reflect upon, you're standing at the end of this journey, this adventure that you had manifested. What do you see around you? And why does that matter? I want you to create a purpose that's even bigger than what you want. Instead, it is the reason you want it. I want to go on this adventure because I know it'll bring what into my life. And this is something you can come back to every day or any time you start to doubt this adventure, and it can give you the fuel you need to keep moving. Write down any other thoughts you have, because we are about to join the group. Okay. Everybody just kind of breathe in and reach up and release. What we'd like to do is, this is Dr. Hugs. And for those listening, it's a blue, cuddly monkey that has arms for hugging. And I just want you to give Dr. Hugs a hug and share with Dr. Hugs kind of what you're thinking or what you're feeling or any thoughts you have for the conclusion of this workshop. Who would like to go for the first hug? Rami?
I am grateful to be connected to my dreams, to identify them. It does make me feel a little bit comforting to know that I still have dreams and that I can use these dreams to push me forward in life. When there are moments where I feel like, I don't know what I want and I don't know where I'm going, this is a good reminder of that I do actually know what I want.
It's awesome. Can we snap it up for Rami? You want to pass Dr. Hugs to Adora?
Do I have to?
You don't have to, but we're inviting you to.
Thank you, Rami. Dr. Hugs looks so much more excited to be with me now.
Uh-oh.
Look, he's falling asleep. I put him in a good place.
So, Dr. Hugs, I'm feeling like I did have to go back to originally how I ended up wanting to be on this journey. And it was from a very selfish place. But I also realized that it's because it's selfish that I know it's real and true. And as selfish as the reason is, it felt very much like, yeah, this is my touchstone and I can always come back to this and check. And when this stops being true, then I'm free to find another journey. Until then, this is the journey I'm on. And then, of course, there's so many worthwhile and unselfish reasons why my journey will be great for the world. But it's still very, very helpful to know that I have the same touchstone that I can check all my dreams against. Thank you, Dr. Hugs.
My turn for a hug. I'm feeling a mix of things right now, Dr. Hugs. I'm feeling a lot of at peace and confidence and joy and gratitude for where I'm at and where I'm headed to. And I wouldn't be completely honest if I didn't admit to the doubts coming up as well. In terms of, really, can I, am I, and how will it work out? But I'm looking for more peace at just knowing that those questions are also okay. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
It's wonderful. Thank you, T.H.E. And I'm feeling gratitude for all of you being here and for this process. I'm feeling very connected to my purpose and journey in this vision I had of exactly what we're doing here of, well, what if instead of just lecturing for this next audio program, as I brought a group of people that I really care about and we went through the process together, and it's been really awesome. So feeling grateful for that. Yay! And we appreciate all of y'all listening at home. We know that you're not here with us live in this moment, but we have trust for the way life evolves. One of our previous features on the live and online expression session, Super B, he has a poem where he talks about how there's a Chinese myth, it's the word he uses, where there's red strings that connects all of us. And he says that sometimes we, when we stumble into each other's lives, it's because we tripped over each other's red strings that connect all of us. And so we know that wherever you are, whatever year it is, whatever day it is, we know that you were meant to listen to this with us and be a part of this moment. And that what you're thinking, although we can't hear you say it, we can feel that vibration changing the world and us all on this journey together, creating a better place by living in connection with the reason we are all here on this earth. And so we thank you for being a part of this process with us. It really means a lot to us. And to T.H.E, Adora, Rami, Tom, and Dr. Hugs, we appreciate you all for being here with us. So snap it up for yourselves. Woo!
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Tom Earl here. Am I saying welcome back to you because you didn't go anywhere? I guess it's me that went somewhere. So I guess I'm saying welcome back. It's Tom. Either way, we're back to just me and you here. I hope you enjoyed day 2 of this great adventure we are manifesting. I really enjoyed getting to hear people's responses to their 20-second poem responses. I love that activity. If you're a part of the expression session, you know that we do that every single month. It's always amazing. I'd love to hear what some of your responses were. Whether you were driving and didn't quite have a chance to write them down, do so before the end of your day. And if you can, post them in the comment section or post it online and tag me or send me a snap of it. Would love to hear what your response to those were. It's always amazing seeing the diversity of creativity people use to answer the same exact question. It's one of my joys. That's why every morning I start my day on social media by asking people a question and seeing their responses. It's absolutely amazing. If we're not already connected on social media, let's be sure to do so. All of my social media is super easy. It's at Tom, T-O-M, Earl, E-A-R-L, artist, A-R-T-I-S-T. I hope you had a great second day that we've already started by what do you look like, the start of your adventure. And through our 20-second poem, starting to give life to what does that adventure look like. Tomorrow, we're going to come back and we're going to have a wonderful conversation on what is success. What have we learned success is throughout our life? And let's take control of what are we telling ourselves success looks like in our lives. Can't wait to see you there tomorrow. If you have any questions, of course, you know all the avenues to get at me. Please do. Otherwise, my friends, just want to continue to encourage you that every breath you are taking, every thought, every emotion you are feeling, it is writing the story of the moment you are in. And so I want to encourage you to have an attitude of gratitude, for our attention gives direction. And when we focus upon the things we are grateful for, when we focus on the abundance that is always around us in every second, rather than giving time to the lack or the things that we don't currently have, if there are 9 things going wrong in your life and 1 thing going right, I want to give you a little nudge towards focusing a little longer on the thing that is going right. Because when we let go of that overwhelm, when we let go of that anxiety, and we embrace that there is always something in our life that is going exactly the way we want it to go, when we dive into that a little bit, we let some joy in, we let some happiness, we let some gratitude, we let some wonder and awe flow in, the creativity, it soars in even more. And the solution seems to come right into our minds when we let go of our focus on the problem. My friends, I hope you continue to manifest your adventure. As always, I'm wishing you peace and blessings. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Tom Earl here again. Just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Celebration. Your support, your energy means the world to me. Hey, if you have 2 seconds, I would be honored if you were to go over to wherever you're listening to your podcast and review this podcast. 5 stars, 1 million stars, somewhere between that range would be very much appreciated. You're the absolute best. I love you. And if you're interested in more courses that I have to offer, just head to tomearl.com/courses and you can sign up for 30 days free to our online school. You're the best, my friends. Looking forward to you joining us next week. All right. Peace and blessings. One more thing. I'd love to continue the conversation. Feel free to join me at tomearl.com/join. Subscribe below, or let's connect on social media. Tom Earl Artist. Thanks again for watching.